Okay, so now we're going to do a couple of things. The first is I just want to set this up so that we're at 50 and 40 and 3, the kind of what the code snippet kind of originally had this as, and hit run, and that should zoom us out to this view. And then I'd like to kind of add a module um, to the map here. And so we're going to load a module. We're going to kind of create a container called tool that's going to basically draw this script that I wrote that basically just demonstrates some work that we'll be doing over the next couple of weeks. But I wanted you to kind of be able to explore the data first before we get into the weeds about how to do the analysis to construct it. And so this module has a function called make map that if you run it, it might take a click to think about it. So be patient after you hit run. But eventually, it's taking a longer click than I thought. Um, there it comes. So eventually you should get this kind of map that gets drawn in. And it should fill out a little bit further than that. It's just being slow. So here you see that it's got some layers, and you see that there's kind of progress bars that are working, that are showing you how much more work there has to be done before it finishes drawing the layers. Um, you can turn the layers on and off, but when you click them on and off, you force it to redraw, which can sometimes be slower. So sometimes it's more advantageous to use the opacity slider to make something visible or not visible, rather than clicking them on and off. You can see that we've got two layers here, and this one is on top of this one. If I move the opacity layer for the one on the bottom, you wouldn't notice a difference because we're changing the opacity. That's something that's underneath this layer. But when I move it this here, you can kind of reveals the layer underneath. What we have here is land surface temperature from the MODIS satellite that we'll talk about, and this is the average for August 2023, the top layer. So summer in the northern hemisphere, so it's warm in the northern latitudes, except for Greenland, and it's based on Celsius. So 0 meaning that was the average temperature. This is daytime temperature. So as you would expect, everything's kind of a little bit warmer, except for maybe some of the high mountains and kind of places with ice. Um, and then underneath that is the difference from average. So if we bring that down, you'll notice that this is saying how does the average temperature in August 2023 compare to the average land surface temperature for all the August between 2000 and 2023? And this is showing you that in this part of the West, it was actually cooler than normal in August, but in this part of the kind of the South and West, it was warmer than average in August. And this is land surface temperature. So this is the kind of the temperature of the land to touch. It's different than air temperature. It actually responds it changes more rapidly than air temperature. So, and it can be, if you have ever kind of tried to walk from your towel to the water across the beach and the sand's hot, like that's this land surface temperature, which can be different than the air surface temperature. Um, and so this is kind of showing you the anomalies of the difference from normal, the normal being the last 23 years, which is problematic, but we'll talk about that. That is what I wanted you to see here, and then I'm going to cut this video and we're going to kind of explore it a little bit.